The chaos in your life, the drama, the toxic pupil, the relationship that consistently drain you, the situations that keep repeating, you didn't just stumble into all of that, you let it in. It seems so hard to hear, but let me tell you how you did it actually. Because you know what, is actually easier to look at everything around you and say, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep attracting this kind of people? Why is my life all the time so complicated? But the question that you are avoiding and you are not asking yourself is, why do I keep opening the door? Because here's what I actually realized about the people who are surrounded by the chaos. Some part of them needs it. Maybe not consistently, maybe also not on purpose, but somewhere in the need of all that compliance about drama, there is a part of them that would feel completely lost without it. Because think about it, drama is at least something to feel, and feeling something, even the wrong things, is better than the quiet emptiness of not feeling anything at all. That pull toward intensity, that almost magnetic draw toward complicated people, complicated situation, that is not bad luck. That is actually something inside of you that believes what aliveness feels like. And until you look at that honestly, until you get truly curious about why peace feels boring and chaos feels like home, the pattern will not change. No matter how many people you cut off, no matter how many times you say never again, no matter how many times you try to start from the beginning. Because listen to me, the problem was never them. The problem is when you recognize them as familiar. Like when camp people come into your life, people who are steady, people who actually didn't play games, who are just consistently there, no matter what happens. For a lot of you with a wounded nervous system, they will try to run away, or they will try to completely remove those people from their life. They will start finding flaws. They will start actually feeling that there is something missing. They will start to create distance without knowing exactly why. But what is actually missing is the adrenaline, not knowing the chaos. And there is actually an uncomfortable truth about it. If peace feels wrong to you, that is actually not a preference. That is actually a wound. It means somewhere along the way, your nervous system learned that love is supposed to feel urgent, that connection needs to feel uncertain, that if someone doesn't actually make you anxious, that means that person doesn't matter. And you have been recreating that feeling ever since. In every relationship, in every friendship, in every situation you choose to stay long enough than you should have, just because of one thing. Because you have been trained. But you also need to understand that what is trained can be also untrained. But only if you are noticing it. Only if you are honest about what is going on underneath of all of what you are feeling. You know what you are forgetting is, you have more control over your life than you are currently admitting to yourself. You have control over your choices. You can choose with whom you are spending time. You can choose your friends. You can choose what you let in. You can choose what you watch. You can choose what you listen to. You can choose which books you need to read. You can choose who can get access to your time, to your energy, to your heart. So the real question is not, why do I feel miserable? Why these people all the time find me? The real question that can change everything is, why do I choose letting them in? Just a reason to feel that familiar rush again. Because their nervous system, it is actually addicted to the frequency of the chaos and peace, that feeling of calm, quiet. It feels boring. It registers as the absence of something. But the problem is not that. The problem is you. You need to know why you're attracting the same pain again and again, the same problems again and again. Because you cannot build anything real on the top of a consistent chaos. You cannot grow in an environment that is always on fire. And the worst thing is that you cannot hear your own voice when the noise never stops. Peace is not boring. Peace is what makes everything else possible. And the reason that it feels boring to you, the reason that camp people feel uninteresting or situations simply feel unsatisfying, is simply because you haven't healed the part that learned to call chaos home. At the end, something really crucial that you need to actually understand is that the people in your surrounding, the way that you actually interpret their words, the meaning that you attach to their silence, their stories about how they see you are actually shaped by your imagination. the friendship that you think are solid, the ones you will always assume that they will be there, the expectations you silently build around how they should behave, are all actually mental constructions that your mind fills in over time. And when someone changes, disappoint you, or doesn't act the way that you expected, the discomfort that you feel, actually that is not only about them. It is the moment your internal story collides with the reality. The real question that can change everything is, why do I keep choosing them? Why does an unavailable pupil feel interesting than available one? Why does the relationship that requires you to prove yourself feels meaningful than the one that just accepts you? Why does the friendship that costs you everything feel more real than the one that costs you actually nothing? These are actually not random questions. You need to ask yourself. In order to change something, you need to notice it. You need to see it. Because every single one of them is pointing back to you. These are not here to blame you, but to show you where you actually need to work. Because the people around you, the way that they treat with you, the patterns that actually keeps all the time showing up, they're almost always a direct reflection of what you believe you deserve. And if you all the time keep ending up with the people who don't respect you, at some level, maybe at some unconscious level, you haven't fully believed you deserved that kind that would. A lot of the people say they want peace. They say they're actually tired of drama. They say they want a simple, calm, and good people in their life. But the moment when peace actually arrives, at that point, they don't know what to do with it. It feels flat. It feels like something is missing. There is something that is not working very well. And then, do you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna create something, a problem, out of nothing, a conflict that doesn't need to exist. They will start to communicate with the pupil that they can bring them back to that chaos that they were before. They will listen to the things that can bring drama in their daily life. They will do everything to go back to the familiar place that they were. If you liked the video, do not forget to like the video, subscribe for more videos. Now if you want to be self-obsessed, do not forget to watch this video somewhere here. Otherwise, I wish you a great day and see you in the next video. Until next video, bye bye!